Thanks for choosing to watch Masterclass series. My name is Mashauri and I'm with Azim Jamal. Welcome, Azim.
Thank you.
Azim, today we are discussing transformational leadership. Nowadays we're talking about change, but I would wish to know what is transformational leadership.
Well, you can have a transactional leader or you can have a transformational leader. A transactional leader is somebody who says, I pay you, you work for me. Okay? A transformational leader is somebody who engages, energizes, empowers, uplifts somebody. Big difference between somebody who's just paying you money to work and somebody who's actually getting the best out of you by believing in you, by engaging you, by empowering you, by energizing you.
And I read in one of your books you're talking about empowering and overpowering.
Yes, so the great leader empowers, not overpowers. Yeah.
And what is the difference between
the difference is overpower means I become the boss. I tell you what to do. I show you around. I overpower you. Empower you is I give you the power to go and do things in terms of your ability to do things and allow you that space to make decisions and move and get success. Instead of every time I tell you what to do, which means I become a slave because every time you have to do something, you have to come and ask me.
Okay.
So it's overpowering. Eh?
And Azim, how does one grow to become transformational leader? What are the things he or she is supposed to do?
Yeah. So I think the key is that a leader is somebody. It's not a position that you have. It's what you do with that position and how best you can get things out of people, right? So if you're your own boss, okay, and if you're a leader and you're the boss, you own the business, your motivation is to make money, to grow the business, to be successful. So if you don't grow the people, business doesn't grow. Every business is people business. You can be in any business. It's about people. You can buy a nice machine, you can do everything, but the people are messing up, everything falls apart. Right? So leadership is about how to get best of the people around you, to get best out of yourself too.
Okay.
Yeah, and that requires you to first know what is it all about, what does success look like, what do we want to achieve, and then make sure that people are also aware of what we are trying to achieve, what game we are playing, whether we're playing football or hockey or cricket, or people don't even know what game they're playing. So make sure that people are aligned to what's happening, what the mission is all about, what the vision is about, the values. The more people are engaged, they feel part of the whole thing, eh? And that's how culture creates. Eh? Culture is how we do things here. Yeah.
And I attended one of the leadership conference, and I remember some of the opinion which came from the CEOs. They said you have to hire the right people if you have to make a difference. To begin with, what do you think should be factors to consider when you're building a team which can help you to deliver the transformation you're intending to achieve?
Yes. So first is what you want to achieve, what does success look like, the clarity of it. Second is, are the team going to be a part of that process to create that success? And then which is the dream team you want to achieve success? So if you could have anybody in your team, who do you want and why? And then look at what you have right now and see the gaps. And then either you groom people to fill the gaps, or you replace people, or you hire people to make sure that you have the right team to achieve the success you want. If you don't have the right team, you won't achieve the success. So first, what does success look like? The clarity around success. Secondly, the team you want to have to achieve success, the gaps you have, and make sure that you have the right where is the imbalance? Is it in defense? Is it in goalkeeping? Is it in midfield? To give a metaphor to give an analogy of a football team, right?
I've seen some of the very successful CEOs and transformational leaders. Sometimes they have to restructure even the organization, you see, to achieve the intended results. Yes, you have a great team, but again, you have to restructure the organization in order to have systems which works. Do you think it helps, and why do you think this is necessary?
Well, I think a leader has to look at what does it take to win the game, to win to achieve success. So people are going to be a very important part of it. But if the people are there, but the systems are not there, the processes are not there, then of course things will be messed up, right? So what are the things you need to fix up in the business to get the success, the quickest, fastest, most efficient, most effective way? And whatever it takes, you need to start working on it to make it better, right? And also making it better on a regular basis. It's not like a one-off thing. See, business is always a work in progress. It's never a finished product. So leader cannot sit back and say, now I'm done. Tim Cook will not say, I'm done. Richard Branson will not say, I'm done. They're always getting better because business is evolving, competition is evolving, environment is evolving, things happen, people evolve. So you can't sit back and say it's done, right? So being nimble and also making improvements, small improvements every single week, which creates, small becomes big. Because little by little you create the ocean.
There are a lot of complaints in some places around the world about performance culture, that people don't perform. Maybe share with us some of your very practical experiences, especially from the best practices in some very successful organizations. How do they build that valuable performance culture within the organization?
So imagine if every team in the organization, small or big team, meets every week, and all they do is set goals for the next week, which are aligned to the short-term goals, medium-term goals, long-term goals. So you set weekly goals and you make it clear, everybody understands, everybody is part of the weekly goals, they agree upon it, and then you decide who does what and have accountability around that. Midweek you evaluate where you are with those goals, and another week you start saying, wait, what did we do right? Praise people for doing what they did right. What we could have done better, and then set the following week goals. Even this small thing you do makes everybody focused, everybody accountable. Every week you're evaluating. So you can get, the worst can happen is 1 week goes bad. But you cannot get away with week after week not doing it, because you're going to be noticed. And there'll be some consequences around it. And you want to make consequences. If there's no accountability, there's no results. People have to be accountable for what they promised, what to do. If they need help, they should shout, I need help. And I need guidance, you'll get guidance. If you need coaching, you'll get coaching. But no excuse for not getting results.
In building values within the organization, because you can have a very competent team, but if people don't have integrity, then all may be messed around, because you may be building something while other people are destroying. What it takes to build an organization with integrity, and people believe in it, they have a sense of ownership, and all these kind of things.
Yeah. So I think, when you create values, if you engage people in building values, so it becomes the value of the organization, the people, the company. Okay, then you make sure that there is some way of ensuring that the values are being practiced, not just in a billboard somewhere or in a room somewhere, but people are walking, talking, breathing, sleeping, dying. And if they're not, there's some consequences. You're making people to task when they don't do the values, so that then people know, if I don't do it, I'm going to have some consequences, right? Or I don't belong here, I should be working somewhere else because the values don't align to my values.
In your book, I remember I read, and you spoke about integrating the corporate and the personal vision.
Yes.
How can organizations?
That's very important, because if you're working for an organization and the values the organization has do not match with your values, then you're in the wrong place, which means that you will never be excited to work there because it doesn't resonate with who you are. But if your values are aligned to the corporate values, then going to work is an extension of who you are. Going to work is like a prayer for you, because you are practicing your values at work, which is who you are about in your core, right? In your inner being.
Okay, and there are so many people who become successful as leaders, and they feel they have to do more. And I notice, like, you normally speak of significance, authenticity, success, going beyond. What is it exactly?
Well, you see, I've worked with leaders across the world for the last 30 years. And I've found that every single leader I've worked with, almost every single leader, is challenged with three things: business, balance, and beyond. So business is, they're always trying to get better in business, because business is always a work in progress. They're looking for balance between their physical, their spiritual, their family, their health, their finance, their lifelong learning, how to balance all that. And then they're looking for beyond, some meaning, some purpose, some passion. And so, when those three are missing, something is missing, they don't have the synergy. Yeah, so it's really a question of finding that more than just money. Money is important, of course, but it's more than money. It's going from success to significance. My co-author, Dr. Nido Kubain, talks about it, that success is very personal. Significance is personal success and making others successful.
In today's world, as you know, Azim, there's a lot of conceptions when it comes to success, and people define success differently. But in most cases, material accomplishment, if you don't own many things, material wealth, then people don't consider you become successful. To to you, what does success means, and what do you think is important in people to consider when it comes about defining their parameters for success?
Yeah. So to each his own. Everybody has their own way of defining. The key is that you achieve your own success, whatever success means to you, right? And not try to achieve somebody else's success, because if you achieve somebody else's success, you won't be happy and they won't be happy. So you'd rather achieve your own success, what it means to you. But from my experience and from my own perspective, success has to be holistic. And that's why I say it's a synergy of business, balance and beyond. It's not one-sided, right? So if your health is not good and you have lots of money, you can't buy health.
Yeah.
If your family is gone, you can't buy your family. If your soul is gone, you can never get your soul back. So success, at what price do you have success, right? And so it's very important that, but one has to define if what matters. If only money matters, then you go after money, and if you get it, you're successful in your definition. Because you don't care about family, you don't care about health, you don't care about spirituality, you don't care about lifelong learning, you don't care about other things, right? So that's fine. But for most people, I think they all look for meaning, they all look for purpose, they all look for passion, they all look for, family, they all look for health, they all look for spirituality, and so it requires that holistic approach to make you successful, right? But if you look at Nelson Mandela or Oprah Winfrey, Mahatma Gandhi, they were not balanced. They all they did was they were doing something that their soul wanted. And Mandela went to prison 27 years. For him, it was success because that's what he defined success as.
And for leaders who have been given the task to make transformation, for instance, if you have a dead organization, you have to transform it to make it work. Or for an entrepreneur who is coming from nothing, completely nothing, maybe something happened, he went bankruptcy, and he wants to stand again to transform the business or transform the company, organization. Where should someone start?
So Paul, it always starts from you. If you're not transformed, you can't transform others. If you're not inspired, you can't inspire others. You try to transform others, whereas you're not transformed yourself. So it's an inside-out approach. It starts with you. What am I doing to myself to transform myself? What am I doing to myself to be inspired myself? What am I doing to myself to become a better leader? What am I doing to do myself? Then I can transfer to others, build capacity and do things. But it's an inside-out approach.
In a space like in Africa, where we see so many things happening, including technology, which is revolutionizing life, what do you think need to mostly be invested into to bring about that kind of change you're looking at? Should it be human capital? What is it?
Yeah, I think it's about creating that fire in your belly, something that you want bad enough for the good of yourself and for the environment and for the country and for the world. That's what creates meaning, and having that desire, because the capacity is there, but the desire is not there, right? We can make all the excuses about environment, about no jobs, but if you're hungry and if you have the fire, you will find things, because people look for people like that who have the drive to make things change, right? And make things positive. And if you can find somebody who's a driver, he or she will find the job somewhere, because people are all looking for that kind of people. They all say we can't find those kind of people who have that oomph.
And opportunities are everywhere.
Yes, there are challenges, of course. One should not minimize that. But it starts with you. I tell people, if you can't find a job, become a volunteer. So why? I said, imagine you're a volunteer and you work so hard. The guy will say, man, I'm not even paying you and you're working so hard. What will happen if I pay him? Man, I better hire him.
That's interesting.
Yes.
And to people who are jobless and they're watching you now?
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying is, that if you have the drive, you go out and prove yourself.
Find something.
Prove yourself, and then the world will be after you. Because if you're valuable, see, a star cannot hide. Ronaldo cannot hide. Messi cannot hide because they're stars. Stars shine, right? And they can't hide. You know who other people are performing. Everybody knows. Because they shine. And the star shines the brightest when it's the darkest. When things are hard, the star will shine even brighter. And so you don't need to worry about recognition. If you're very good, if you're exceptional, you're extraordinary, everybody will know who you are. Because you'll shine. The other guys will not shine. They're average.
And how does it work in a team? In a team, sometimes you have to work together as a team to achieve the results. And sometimes maybe you have that burning desire, you have that motto, which is not necessarily in a team. As a transformational leader, what do you think should
Yes.
basically be done to make sure that we move together as a team?
Yes. If you're a leader of the team and the team is not having that fire, but you have the fire, your job is to start now seeing why the other fire is missing. Is the drive missing? Is the goal missing? Is the some people have some blind spot they need help with? What do you need to do to change that environment to create that spark, right? So you help people to coach them, groom them, excite them, create goals that they want, whatever it takes, right?
Okay. Thank you so much, Azim. I think this is quite informing, and I'm sure people are learning a lot from you.
Pleasure.
You're watching Masterclass series, and I'm still with Azim Jamal. We'll go for a short break and I'll come back again for the topic. Thank you.
The genius lies in the graves. People have died, never opening their gifts. Right? External power, somebody can take it away from you. If you're a nobody's average. Everybody's unique. Everybody has potential. So the real power is not outside. The real power is inside. The brain you have is more powerful than any computer. The eyes you have are small, but they can see the stars trillions of miles away. So people have different skills, and the idea of a leader is to make sure that they tap into people's strengths.
Welcome back to Masterclass, and I'm still with Azim Jamal. We're talking about transformational leadership. Welcome, Azim, again.
Thank you.
Azim, we have spoken many issues related to transformational leadership, and I would like to know now, how does it take to build the right culture within the organization?
So let's define culture. Culture is how we do things here. Okay. So whenever you go to any organization, in 2 minutes you'll know what the culture is. If you go to somebody and ask for something, and they have a long face, you know what the culture is going to be. Or they say, go there, go there, go there. So you know it's people are just going to pass the buck. Yeah. So you can tell an organization which is uplifting and those which are not uplifting. Yeah, I'll give you an example. I went to a hotel in India, and a Taj hotel, and I was early in the morning at 9 o'clock, and my room was not ready. So they asked me, "What do you want?" I said, "I need to take a shower. I need to shave. I need to have a go for my meeting." So they gave me a key to the sauna to go and take a bath, and take a shower and shave, and then took my clothes to iron. So I took a shower, shaved, my clothes were ready. I went for my meeting. I came before my meeting and I said, I want to book a ticket to go to Goa. I said, when do you want to go? I said, this. They said, you go do your work, we'll book it for you. They got my ticket booked. Then I went for a massage for my feet. I was having a lot of trouble. And so the guy is massaging my feet, and I asked him a question, how long you work here? He gave me a 45-minute speech while he's doing my massage on my leg and telling me how the company started and why the company started. I mean, like a CEO. I said, they should be a CEO, man. So you know the culture. So I don't mind paying more when I go there because they look after me. You know, a good culture of getting things done. I went to another hotel, they had a sign, we go the extra mile. Everybody has a sign, we go the extra mile. And everybody went the extra mile. You go to janitor, they'll tell you where you want, they'll take you there. They won't tell you goes there. And then I went again 2-3 years later for the other hotel, and they didn't have a sign there. I said, what happened to your sign? He said, we do different things. And I went for my breakfast, I asked for my tea. 4 times I never got my tea because they forgot their emblem. So culture is how we do things here, and you have to be vigilant to make sure that it doesn't get messed up. Right? Peter Drucker, who's died now, the management guru, said that culture can eat strategy for breakfast. Strategy will go nowhere if the culture is not there. You can have all the strategy in the world, but the people's
the
culture
first thing is building the right culture.
Yeah, and then the strategies come, but not the other way around.
And it happens so many times, Azim, for instance, if you start a business, no sooner than later it grows, then you have to get more people into the organization. And when it grows bigger, you have to get even more people. So how can we build capacities to make sure that we have people and they grow and they manage the dynamics within the organization to achieve the vision?
So transformational leadership is all about building capacity. You know, it's like the company is supposed to grow, you're not supposed to shrink. And you're growing, people have to grow. The company can only grow when people grow. Because if people are not growing mentally, there's sharpness, everything, the company is not going to grow unless you keep getting people from outside the whole time. But if you're making people grow, so people tell me, I have attrition. So I said, it's a big problem. I said, attrition is not a problem. Losing good people is a problem. Losing bad people is not a problem. So usually in a company, 20% of your people are your core success people. If you lose them, you're in trouble. If you lose the people who don't achieve much, it's not going to be a big problem. So making sure that the high performance employees, first of all, identified who they are, and they are groomed. They are given growth, they have a career path, and so that you don't lose them. And capacity building is you have to be able to, the 20% have to be groomed, so they come up, and the people under them have to be groomed by these people, and this is the way you build capacity, right? And make people grow, so that if you're a leader, and if you're second in command, and if other people in your team are not growing, you'll always be a slave and stuck where you are.
Definitely.
But if you're grooming them, they'll come to your place and you'll go higher.
You go higher.
As the company grows, you go higher. But if you're worried about losing your place and you don't want to groom anybody else, you'll always stick there for the rest of your life and complain that I'm not getting any.
And how can it work? Like, how can organizations build these systems for coaching and mentorship within internal systems?
So I think the first step is every single leader has to have a successor.
Okay.
So succession plan. If you have a very strong right-hand person, your task is half already, because you've got somebody who can do your work. So if you go on a holiday, you don't come back with 10 times more work, because the other person is doing it, because the person is ready to do it. And even when you are there and the other person is doing most of your work, you can be a visionary, you can do things because you can delegate something. So you're grooming your second in command. So everybody has a second in command. And then within your team, you say who are the 20% people who are really the stars, groom them to get even higher. So one day they take your place and your successor's place, so you go higher. So it's a process of everybody being groomed and setting goals every week, evaluating goals, giving feedback, accountability, makes people realize the performance they are doing and the success they are having. And transformational leadership is also about catching people doing things right. So when people are doing things right, you notice them and praise them, because that's how they do more right things.
And talking about succession planning, especially for entrepreneurs, there are some areas it is a bit easy because of the family kind of setup in the businesses, but some are not necessarily family businesses. What can entrepreneurs, especially those owning their own businesses, do to ensure a smooth transition in order for the business to go beyond the third generation? We have seen companies like Fiat that have been there all over for many years, Coca-Cola for many years.
Yes.
How does it work?
Well, there are 2 or 3 parts. One is that everybody starts business because they want to be their own boss, right? And then they find out I'm actually my slave because I'm working harder than everybody else, and everything boils down to me. So the buck stops at me. So if I'm not there, everything can collapse, right? So I need to make sure that if I really want to be my own boss, I need to delegate more, empower more, energize more, so other people can take my stuff. So I become a bit more freer.
And maybe before you proceed, how much should I delegate?
Well, I own 2 businesses in Canada, my professional accounting businesses, which I used to own before. In a whole year, if I spend one day, it's too much. And they're doing better without me. They're actually making more money without me because they're empowered, they're energized, they have KPIs, they do whatever, and they do it. So the point is, depends how much you want to work. If you want to not work and have other people work, then you have to start operating that way. But if you want everything to go through you, then it's not going to work.
Okay.
Yeah?
And
So
this,
sorry.
if it is to groom, maybe family members.
Yeah, so that's the other thing you mentioned earlier. So I have a client in South Africa. I've been doing work with them every year. They're a big family, they're a big organization, very successful family, very balanced family. And so this time they asked me, what are you going to do this time? Every time you're doing different things. So I said, how about we spend a day trying to see how the business will look 100 years from now? So what? Why 100 years from now? I said, you know what? 100 years from now, it doesn't matter who's going to be the CEO. Right now, he's worried about my son being the CEO, my cousin being the CEO. Everybody is trying to fight for the position. But 100 years from now, none of you will be there. So we can become really creative and create something that we never expected. And that's where the power comes, right? So we spent the whole day. It was so exciting. And we came up with, I had an artist with me who drew a picture of how the business will look 100 years from now. And the next day I went to see their wives and their kids who were not part of the business and showed them the picture. I said, what does the picture look like to you? And they could tell me everything we discussed the day before, just from the picture. So the idea is, succession planning, the family business the statistics are very poor. If you look at statistics, they say the grandfather was very rich, the father is okay, the grandson is very poor, because they don't last generations, many businesses, because it's not done well. So it's not going to just happen by accident. It'll require that grooming, that energizing, that involvement, because the youth have a different lifestyle, the ideas of business than the older people. And if there's no marriage of those two thinking, then businesses don't last for generations, right?
You also mentioned something about servant leadership.
Yes, servant leadership is about, the boss mentality is I'm the leader, you listen to me. The servant leader says, I'm your servant, how can I help you? I'm a leader, but I'm your servant, how can I help you? I'm here to help you. I'm here to help you achieve your goals, because when you achieve your goals, I achieve my goals. If you don't achieve your goals, I don't achieve my goals. So you become like that and you say, my job is to really help you achieve your goals. I will groom you, I'll coach you, I'll mentor you, I'll show you. If you're stuck, come back to me. Not like you go and do this and I'm the boss and you listen to me and you tell people off. That's not transformational leadership.
Okay.
That's transactional leadership.
And of recent years, we have witnessed in so many places around the world whereby great leaders which people trusted and believed in fail because maybe they could not exercise leadership 360 because of integrity issues. Yes, they're delivering, they're competent, they deliver results, but because of integrity, they could not make it to the end.
Yes.
What could you tell the leaders who are?
So transformational leaders are ethical leaders. They are principle-centered leaders. They are leaders who care about themselves, their teams, their company, their customers, all stakeholders. That's when they last for long, because they have that kind of balance in them, right? It's not like selfishness or whatnot, right? Or ego or whatnot, right? So I think it's very important to have that broader perspective, which is sustainable.
And for sometimes it happens, people, along the way they get challenges, even being fired in their career, and they may think maybe they're finished, they can't again turn up to become transformational leaders. But maybe a word of inspiration to them.
Yeah, well, look at Steve Jobs. He got fired from Apple. He said, how can you get fired from a company you started? But he got fired, and yet he came back later and then became the icon of the tech world, right? He's created an Apple which one day may be $1 trillion business, right? So being fired is not the end of the world. Every time you get fired, you bounce back bigger and stronger. Every time you have a down, you bounce back bigger and stronger. So the more times you're put down, you bounce back bigger and stronger. So you say, thank you for putting me down. Thank you for firing me. Watch me now. Watch me now, right? So if you have that kind of approach, then it doesn't matter. You don't say, why me? Say, why not me? Why not me? I'm ready, right?
There's another challenge which we normally see, especially for people who grow in their career and become very successful, and maybe they may lose some sort of elements of humility.
Yes.
To other people. I would like maybe you talk a bit about humility and how it helps into becoming a great leader.
I think transformational leaders are humble leaders because they're there to serve, to make the world a better place, to make their company a better place, to serve the customers, to achieve and help them solve their problems. So they come from a right place. It's not like they're there just for their own ego, for their own greed, for their own self-centeredness. They care about the people who they hire, because they know these people have families at home, they're supporting their families, their kids, so they want them to make sure that they pretend their jobs, so they make sure they groom them so they can perform, so they don't get fired. So they care, they have this humility in them, and they're good listeners. They're not, I know it all, who are you to tell me about this, because it's not what is right, it's who is right.
And those sort of things can be done to employees within the company to make sure that we maintain that sort of an atmosphere. You spoke of familyhood, feeling the sense of ownership, togetherness, respect to one another, regardless of the positions. What do you think need to be done, like activities?
Sure. But I think it's all about, if you're the leader, you have to be an exemplary. So it's like you engage the team, you praise the team, and success comes. You don't take all the success to yourself. You give credit to other people. So you embody the principles that you want people to embody. Mahatma Gandhi said, become the change you want the world to be. You become the change first before you change the world around you. So when you start to act in a way that is inclusive, embracive, engaging, inspiring, then you expect others to start to embody that.
And at personal level, some people, when you grow up, you want to change so many things, and you believe when you grow up, you'll become a great person, who will influence and make a difference in the world. But as you're growing up, some of these dreams get off. What is your experience?
I think it's very good to have aspirations in life, because aspirations make you get up in the morning and go and achieve something, right? But if you want to become great now.